What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. For this video, we'll be doing what the title says. We'll be reacting and making takeaways for week 3 of the NFL. We had a lot happen this week, so we'll hop right into Thursday Night Football, where the Bills beat the Dolphins 31-21. And this game was it was about what I expected. I mean, I figured the Dolphins would keep it close just because it's a division rivalry, but the Bills ended up winning, and the final score the final score doesn't indicate how close the game was. The game was actually pretty close, but the Dolphins had an ill-advised turnover, and the Bills ended up winning. So, I mean, good for the Dolphins for hanging in there with the Bills for as long as they could, but the Bills avoided a trap game and improved to 3-0. All right, and next up we have the Panthers blowing out the Falcons and shutting them out. And I have a lot of concerns with the Falcons here. Michael Penix looked really bad against a not great defense. And the Falcons, the fact that they failed to put up a single point is very concerning. And yeah, it was the Panthers. I mean, good for them for winning. They didn't do anything like spectacular offensively. I mean, good for them for getting the win. But it's like the Falcons let them put up 30 points just because of how bad their offense was, because they just did not help out their defense. But, good for the Panthers. They didn't start 0-3. They were able to beat their division rival. That has to feel good. And Bryce Young didn't turn the ball over. So, those are the positives for the Panthers. And, they avoided going 0-3. All right, and next up we have the upset of the year so far, as the Browns beat the Packers 13-10. And this was just a colossal choke job by the Packers. I mean, I don't know what happened. They were up 10-0 with like 3 minutes left in the game, and they lost. I mean, that's just inexcusable. And it ended a lot of survivor leagues, including mine, because I picked the Packers, and hence why they were my lock of the week. But there's really no reason to do that anymore because I got one wrong, so I'm out. But yeah, this was bad for the Packers. I mean, good for the Browns for winning this game. Feels good to beat a team you're not supposed to, and this was definitely every definition of that. And I think the Packers will be fine in the long run, but this is a crushing defeat. All right, next up you have the Jags beating the Texans 17-10. And I have a lot of concerns with the Texans. Their defense, it's not one of them, but their offense has been horrible. I mean, they just haven't been able to put up any points, and they're wasting how good their defense is. It kind of feels like watching the Broncos in 2022, just because no matter how good your defense is, if your offense is literally nothing, it's like, there's not much you can do. So, yeah, I don't like where the Texans are at right now. And as for the Jags, I mean, good on them for winning this game, but even they didn't look that good. I mean, their defense was good, but, I mean, Trevor Lawrence still doesn't look that good. Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter are looking very underwhelming. And, Jags, you are 2-1, so credit to you guys for that, but I still don't think your team is that good. All right, and next up you have the Vikings beating the absolute shit out of the Bengals. I mean, this was a slaughter, and credit to the Vikings. They played unbelievable, and Isaiah Rodgers Sr. had probably one of the greatest games in NFL history, like greatest singular games. He had two scores. He scored twice on defense. He had a pick six and a fumble recovery for 6. He had a crazy good game, so good for him on that, and good for the Vikings. As for the Bengals, yeah, I think you need to get rid of Jake Browning, or at least not have him start, because he looked really bad in this game. And your defense, as usual, looks bad too. It's like, Joe Burrow going down is a very bad look. And yeah, I don't like where the Bengals are at right now. Unless they trade for a quarterback or something, I really don't think they're going to do anything this year. All right, next up you have the Steelers beating the Patriots 21-14. And the Patriots, they just need to clean up the turnovers. They had 5 turnovers in this game. And you're not going to win many games with 5 turnovers. I mean, the fact that this was even close was actually kind of insane. But Yeah, they need to clean up the turnovers. Drake May does look really good, though, so that's a positive for the Patriots. As for the Steelers, I mean, it wasn't pretty. You guys definitely probably should have won by a lot more, but you did win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You guys are 2-1, and I believe you're in first place for the division, or at least you're tied for it with the Bengals. So good on you for taking care of a lesser opponent and improving to 2-1. All right, next up we have the Eagles beating the Rams 33-26, and this was really something. The Rams were up 26-7 at halftime, or wait, no, not halftime. They were up 26-7 in the third quarter, and surely you think they would win, but they ended up choking the game away. The Eagles came all the way back, and for the first time all season, the Eagles offense actually had some life. I mean, in the second half. First half, they were pretty bad. And yeah, I think the Eagles finally figured something out. And the fact that they were able to come back from down 19 against, in my opinion, a Super Bowl contender, I think that's unbelievable. And I think the Eagles, they're an unbelievable team. They have a very talented roster, obviously, and good on them for getting the win. And for the Rams, this one really sucks because you guys had a golden opportunity to go up one against arguably one of your biggest competitions in the NFC, and you just choked away the game. All right, next up, we have the Bucs winning a close one against the Jets. And before I say anything, credit to the Jets. I think they're a very feisty team. They're not a good team, but they fight, and I can't credit them enough for trying. I mean, they were down 23-6, and despite that, they still made this a game. And I think that's really impressive for a team like the Jets to do that against a team like the Bucs, who I think is really good. And I mean, they couldn't win, but I like where the Jets are heading. I mean, I think Aaron Glenn's a terrific head coach, and he's a guy that every Jets player wants to play for, and you saw it in a game like this. As for the Bucs, I mean, this one was definitely a scare. You guys almost choked the game away, but Baker Mayfield came in the clutch. He was able to get Chase McLaughlin into field goal range, and then he was able to kick the field goal and win the game by 2 points. So definitely a scary game, but a win's a win, and I think Baker Mayfield's playing really good right now. All right, next up you have the Colts beating the Titans 41-20, and the result of this game definitely didn't shock me. I thought the Colts would win. I definitely didn't think this game would be as high scoring as it was. I mean, 41 points is a lot. And it's actually the most the Colts have scored, despite this being the first game they punted. And, I mean, Daniel Jones looks really good. And I think the Colts got an absolute steal with him in free agency. And I think they could definitely win the division. They're definitely the favorite to do it, considering how bad the Texans look. And if they can keep playing like this, they will definitely make the playoffs. As for the Titans, I mean, you guys, I just don't like how your team looks right now. I mean, you have Cam Ward, and that's about it. I mean, after that, there's such a drop-off in talent. And I really don't think Brian Callahan's a good head coach, and I think it's only a matter of time until the Titans fire him. All right, next up, we have the Commanders blowing out the Raiders 41-24. And this was with Marcus Mariota. Jaden Daniels was hurt, so he didn't play, but Marcus Mariota, he was able to get the Commanders to an easy victory. So, you know, that says a lot about Marcus Mariota that he was able to do that. So good on the Commanders for getting a win against a lesser opponent, especially without their starting quarterback. And as for the Raiders, I mean, this is bad. You guys, honestly, this was an opportunity for you guys to win the game. You couldn't do it. I mean, you let Marcus Mariota drop 41 points on you. That's bad. And other than Trey Tucker, shout out to him, by the way. He had 3 touchdowns. He was really good, but other than Trey Tucker, I mean, this just didn't look good for the Raiders. And I really don't see them doing that great this year just because I haven't really seen them do anything that impressive so far. All right, next up, we have the Chargers beating the Broncos 23-20. And we have another MVP candidate, in my opinion, along with Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been unbelievable this year. And there was one play where I think it was like 3rd and 6 or something, or maybe it was 2nd and 6, I don't know, but Justin Herbert, he was about to get sacked. He avoided the sack, and then he threw the ball from a weird angle, and then Keenan Allen caught a touchdown while being covered. That was such a sick play, and I'm a Broncos fan, and I can't give him enough credit for that, because, I mean, I don't like how my team's playing, but I will admit our defense is pretty good. So I think the Chargers, I mean, knock on wood, 'cause it's the Chargers, but they look unbelievably good right now. I mean, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Broncos, which, I mean, is definitely a lesser victory compared to the Chiefs. And they've played 3 AFC West opponents so far, because they beat the Raiders too, and they're 3-0. So that says a lot about how good this team's playing, that they're doing that against division rivals. And as for the Broncos, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the second week in a row where we lost on a field goal. And it's like, I don't know, we're just finding ways to lose. And it's really frustrating because I don't think our team's that bad, but we are playing so bad when it comes to like the end of the game management. And Bo Nix needs to play better. Like, I love Bo Nix, but my God, he just needs to quit being an idiot, because he will have a lot of turnovers and a lot of overthrows, or boverthrows rather. You know, it's just not looking great right now, and I think we'll be fine, but we don't look fine. All right, next up we have the Seahawks blowing out the Saints 44-13, and this was definitely a game. I mean, there's not much to say here. The Seahawks beat a lesser team by a lot of points, and it definitely did surprise me that it was this lopsided. I thought the Saints would at least hang in there. I didn't think they would win, but I thought they would hang in there like they did the first 2 weeks, but, you know, they didn't look very good in this game. They looked very, very bad, and this is the Saints I expected to see, and it's not looking good for them. They play the Bills next week, so we'll see if they can somehow get a win there, but I have a 99.9% belief that that's not going to happen. But yeah, credit to the Seahawks. And Sam Darnold these past 2 weeks has looked really good. So I think he's proven that he's not a system quarterback and that he can actually play. So good for him. All right, next up we have the Bears blowing out the Cowboys 31-14. And this might have been Caleb Williams' best game as a starter. He looked really good. He had almost 300 passing yards. He had 4 passing touchdowns. And yeah, the Bears, this is the Bears that everyone envisioned, because this was a Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams masterclass. So credit to the Bears. As for the Cowboys, I mean, your defense is awful. Like, awful. I mean, not saying the Bears are bad, but you let Caleb Williams absolutely crush you guys. And I know, I will acknowledge, CeeDee Lamb did get injured in this game, and that does genuinely suck for the Cowboys, but I honestly don't think it would have mattered. I still think they would have lost this game. And yeah, the Cowboys defense, it'd be a lot better if they still had that Micah Parsons guy. I just have a hunch. But yeah, I think this team, their offense can be, you know, good in spurts, but it's like, without a defense, you guys aren't really going to go anywhere. All right, next up, we have the 49ers beating the Cardinals by a singular point, and this was definitely a lower scoring game, and I think there were only like 2 total touchdowns in this game. And yeah, the 49ers, they had Mac Jones for a second straight week, but it didn't matter. They were still able to get a victory. And I guess the only bad thing for the 49ers is Nick Bosa is going to be out for the season because of this game, so that kind of sucks. Actually, that really sucks because he's one of your best players on defense. But a win's a win, and that sucks, but you did beat your division rival. As for the Cardinals, I mean, you guys had an opportunity to win this game, and you kind of just pissed it away. I mean, I thought you guys were going to win watching this game, but then you guys kind of just, you know, went flat on offense, and, you know, this will happen. And also, James Conner, I feel bad for him. He got carted off, and he's going to be out for the season, and he might be done. He might never play again, so I feel bad for him. But yeah, the Cardinals, they kind of let this one slip away, and I wish James Conner and Nick Bosa speedy recoveries. All right, next up we have on Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs beating the Giants 22-9. And this was definitely not a shocking result of the game. I mean, I thought the Chiefs would make it closer just because it's the Chiefs, but they took care of business. They looked sketchy in the first half, but after that, they were able to start firing as much as they needed to against a team like the Giants. So good for them for taking care of a lesser opponent and not falling to 0-3. And I mean, the Chiefs will only get better as they get healthier. And too, as Rashee Rice gets back from suspension, Xavier Worthy gets healthy again. I mean, we'll see how they do when they get all their guys back. As for the Giants, I mean, I don't know what to say. You guys are just such a bad franchise. There's no other way to put it. I mean, Russell Wilson looked terrible in this game, and I will acknowledge the Chiefs have a good defense, but, he still looked really bad. I mean, there was a sequence around the end of the game where he, threw the ball away, 15 straight times. He had an intentional grounding, 4 yards away from the end zone. Russell Wilson looks bad, and it was actually announced today that Jackson Dart is going to be starting next week against the Chargers. So we'll see how he does, but yeah, the Giants, it's not looking good for them. And ending the week, we have the Lions beating the Ravens 38-30, despite, having to come back from a deficit. They were down 7 in the second half, but they were able to score a lot of unanswered points and give themselves a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, and the Ravens just couldn't come back from that. Because the Ravens, they were down by 14 with 2 minutes to go, and then they scored, but then they couldn't get the ball back. So it's too bad that happened, but I mean, the Lions, they look legit. I mean, that week 1 loss to the Packers, I think lit a spark in them, and they've looked really good since. As for the Ravens, I mean, I don't know what to say about them. They honestly probably should have won this game. They were at home. It was on Monday Night Football, which is normally when Lamar Jackson plays his best football, but he looked pretty, not bad, but he just didn't look like himself. And I have a lot of questions with the Ravens when it comes to beating the big bad opponents like the Lions and the Bills, the teams they both lost to. We'll see how they do against the Chiefs, but I have a lot of concerns with the Ravens. And that's going to do it for this video. Week 3, I went 11-5. Not the best record, but there were a lot of random things that happened last week. So I guess that's just how it is. And that puts my current record at 36-12. And yeah, that's my week 3 reactions and takeaways. And I will see you all for my week 4 predictions on Thursday morning.